All right, so a couple of y'all wanted to see how I created this portfolio on Canva. So I do not have a paid account, so don't go pay for anything. So essentially, this is my website that I created. If we go into, so I essentially have one, two, three pages, and then this page has sections. That's kind of how I created it. What that looks like as a website. It's like this is a page, just my home. My about me is just a page, and then my instructional tech is a page. It has this block here with all my thumbnails, and then it has sections, which with each thumbnail and your paragraph description will go here, where your reflection piece, and then you'll link here. So, for example, here I've linked these so you don't have to scroll down. If I want to get to interactive lesson, I can literally click on it, and we'll go to that. Here's my thumbnail, my paragraph right here. And then if I click this, this actually goes to the lesson that's on Nearpod. Of course, you got to sign in if you want to use that. But I'll give another lesson. Let's say like this one here. If you click on it, it gives you the link to my flyer that was created on Canva. All right, cool. So what we're going to do is let me show you kind of some basic things I did to create that. So in your Canva account, what you're going to do is go to your home page. All right. We're going to look for some templates, and then we want a portfolio website. And be careful because they do have they do have portfolios that are just presentations, but you want a website. So we can kind of, and I would suggest go ahead and filter here. All right. So animated, maybe professional or classic or, you know, something along those lines. Maybe see that's premium. We don't want that. Mm, And again, just find one. I think I chose this one honestly to begin with. So let's go customize this one. So it gives you an about me page and all of that. So and then you can add different sections and then you can add actual pages right here. All right. So let me walk you through kind of what I have done. So this essentially was my about me page, and what I did here was that that was this page here, this about me. So I already had this kind of blurb written up for resumes or me submitting to jobs and things like that, and I think it's on my LinkedIn or something like that. So I copied that over to whoops, there you go. I just copy pasted that. Whoops, I don't like that formatting. So and it's copying and weird. And you may have to play with it a little bit. And maybe it doesn't do perfectly for you. And you may have to come in and like edit, you know, things of that nature, which can be annoying, but it is what it is. So you do some quick edits here. All I'm doing is getting rid of these extra spaces that happen when you copy from one platform to another. And we can drag this up a bit, give us some more space. And maybe we let's get these, select those, drag them down. There you go. Of course, I don't want her picture or her name, so you come in and you edit that. And you can put your pronouns if that's your preference. Again, I'm putting in my info, and you can link to your other things if you like. Hopefully you have a professional picture you can put on there. Boom, replace that picture. All right, and we got an about me page, right? You can also add in a landing page. If you go to design, sometimes you'll see other designs And maybe you use some of their, because if you click on these, they will give you the different pages, right? So maybe you don't need them all, but maybe you just want one or a home page or something like that. For the sake of this, I'm going to show you, we're going to add another page. Like this is page type, right? You can do different things, but I'm just going to add a page. So now we got two pages, and then I'm going to drag this template in. I like this template because this can be used for our landing page for our projects. So we're going to title this Instructional Technology. I'm actually going to shrink these down a little bit because right now we have 6 and we really need 9. So create another 3. All I did was copy and paste them, selected them. And there we go. We have our 9. If you want them centered or your particular, or maybe you add more than 9, you can add another row. Like if you want it, you can add in 12 as your portfolio grows, right? So there you go. So we have our different ones here. So for this, I don't really need the date, so I'm gonna get rid of that. And maybe you do this before you copy and paste, so you don't have to delete everyone. But you live and you learn. So this one we can title. Let's go back and look at our, what do we need? Infographic, group video. I'm gonna do those two. Do. So info graphic and group video. And then you want to change these out, of course, for our thumbnails. What I did was a lot of my stuff I created on Canva as well. So, for example, I'll go back to my projects. Let's go here. And I created a copy of this old flyer I made for an organization that was starting. So to get a thumbnail, all I did was use the snipping tool, which is this tool here. It comes up like this. I've already snipped it, but I'm gonna show you. Click new. You literally just drag, click and drag, take a screen, little cast, and it pops up like this. You hit copy, or you can use a shortcut Control C, then go back to your, this is my web page I'm creating, and then we're gonna just Control V, we're gonna paste it. Then you can drag these and you can actually drag it into that block. If you double click it, you can see which one, which portion of the flyer that you're gonna see. Okay, so to create the section for this, the full on section, because if you look at mine, I have a section for that has the big thumbnail, place for your paragraph, and for you to link. So what I did here, we can create a section to this page. So here, it's an extension of this page that when you're on the website, you can just scroll down, right? So now I think maybe I just use this one. I just pasted that in, and then, this one is my infographic. Ooh, capitalize that guy. Whoops, sorry. And then this is your paragraph of paragraph reflection. Blase, 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 right? And you put all that in. Okay. And then you would need links. So I don't like trying to recreate the same text. I found it easier just to copy and paste and get rid of the title. So now I can create this one as my links, right? Oh, that's way too much. So links, hit enter, and then the infographic that I'm gonna put in. Again, if you didn't still have it copied, you can go back to that snippet. You can copy it, put it back in, paste, or again, you can set up your structure, and then when you copy and paste it here, you can just paste another one here so you don't have to go back and forth. And then links wise, we're just gonna put in. So this one is a flyer communication or something along those lines. And then to create the link to that, right, you have to go to that actual file on your Canva or your Google Drive, wherever you have it, and then share for Canva, and then public view link. So you create that, you copy that link, you can go back to your document, and then for this section here, you just highlight that text, and you hit this little link button, and then you can actually paste that link in, and then you get done. All right, there you go. So now that link will go to that document. Now to actually link to this page, what I did, so on my text, I created another link and I actually linked it to that section. So underneath that page, you can see I have sections. This is section one with the thumbnails. This is section two with the actual infographic. If I link to that section, when I'm in preview mode, when I go do 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 to page two, and if I click that, it will link me down to that. And if you don't want this page one and page two here, let me show you how to do that. You just need to name your pages. So right here, I right clicked, and then right here, you can name this page about me. So that way, when you go into preview mode, now that page is named about me. All right, that's kind of the basics. And then you just kind of do that for each section. Find your thumbnail, paste it there, paste your link. If you want it hyperlink to the section, you can do that. That's not a requirement. That's just kind of a thing I did. I think that's the most part. The last thing is publishing. So any edit you make is not going to automatically publish. So you have to come up here and hit publish website. And then I suggest you, before you do that, first of all, name it. So like M Fertile Portfolio, right? So then when I publish, you see it's the Canva Impertile Portfolio. Much shorter than that long drawn out thing. Yep. So you can change the settings and stuff like that on if you want it visible, but you know, you just need to make sure it's a public viewing link, and then you hit publish. And it's publishing, preparing your design. Confetti, you've made it. So you can click here to view it, but here's that link you need to share for us to view your website. And I recommend you do view it because you'll find little things you're like, I don't like that, how it looks. And you can go back and edit it. If you do go back and edit anything, you do have to go republish. And it tells you that. So here it says, if you continue editing this design, you'll need to publish again. So if you go in and add more stuff, you just will need to, like if I go in and edit, you will have to republish. Okay. Y'all have any more questions, reach out. But I hope for this was helpful. See ya.